Welcome to this drill press overview video where we'll be taking a closer look at the common controls and components of floor model drill presses to help you decide if the floor model drill press is right for your shop. For this walkthrough, we have two floor model drill presses, the traditional 20-inch G7948 and the 34-inch G7946 radial drill press. So right off the bat, you can tell there are two different styles of drill press here, the traditional and the radial style. Traditional drill presses offer a bit more rigidity for heavier duty drilling through projects like steel plate, while the radial style features a bit more swing capacity. So what is swing capacity? It's actually the number we presented with each model to represent the distance from the front of the column, here, to the center of the drill chuck, here, times 2. This represents the square or round capacity of an object that will fit in the machine, dead center. That's the common dimension that should play into your choice of machine size, especially when you're considering your future plans for projects, size-wise. Having more capacity is generally a good thing if possible. With that commonality out of the way, let's start from the ground level with the base. Larger floor model drill presses feature a heavier cast iron base with a good size footprint, though it's often a good idea to bolt your drill press directly to the floor because they are top-heavy machines. But just because they're a bit top-heavy doesn't mean they can't be mobile. You can actually mount a larger drill press into a mobile base with a plywood platform to maximize your shop space, like this. Also on the base is a set of T-track channels. These can be used to mount a vise or jig fixturing for longer repeatable workpieces. Moving up, we have the column, which connects everything together from the base to the table to the headstock. A large column really helps with rigidity of your drill press frame, especially when drilling something like metal. The column features a rack and pinion system for the table to travel up and down, and the table features a height crank. The table itself should be pretty robust, and this means a precision ground cast iron surface with T-slots for mounting a vise or fixturing. A common T-slot channel size for floor model drill presses is 5/8 of an inch, though they are also available in sizes from 5/16 up to 3/4 of an inch to match the slots that you have in your specific table. You can find the T-slot sizing on the machine specification sheet to help guide you. The table can also unlock and pivot around the column, and the table can also pivot left and right up to 90 degrees and lock into place. Some floor model drill presses, like the radial version here, feature an additional pivot point for the table to account for the added swing movement of the headstock, which is a bit further up the column. The headstock consists of the chuck and quill assemblies, the pulley assembly, and the motor. The chuck and quill area is where the fun happens, and you can actually purchase an array of chucks to fit your needs. Let's take a closer look at the drill press chuck assembly to help better understand the right combo for your needs. There are different styles of chucks, which is the adjustable jaw here. This style is the traditional keyed variety. Then there's the keyless drill chuck, which locks down using a spanner wrench. Then there are the integral style. Integral versions can have either a keyless or keyed chuck with the chuck arbor, which is this section of the assembly, and it is permanently mounted on an integral chuck. Now, drill chuck arbors are designed to fit not only the specific spindle taper of your machine, which is the machined internal taper of the quill, but also designed to pair with the taper of the chuck you choose. So how do you know the right taper? Most chucks will have the taper present right on them, and then you can log on to grizzly.com and search chuck arbor. With each option, you'll see a set of letters and numbers. These correspond to the taper on the spindle, which is the long portion of the chuck arbor, known as the spindle taper, and the mount taper, which is the shorter end. That connects to the chuck itself. Simply check your machine's spec sheet or ID label to find the spindle taper, then note the taper on the chuck you have. In this case, we have an MT4 spindle taper on the machine and a JT3 taper on the chuck, so we know that this chuck arbor will be the right fit. The chuck arbor and chuck are friction fit, and a quick tap will seat them together. Then, when you insert the assembly into the headstock, you can give them a simple tap on the end and it will then press fit when you're drilling. The quill here travels up and down as you drill into the workpiece, and it dictates the spindle travel, which in this case of the 20-inch drill press is 4 3/4 of an inch. The Quill features a slot for a drift key to be inserted and tapped to release the drill arbor. Connected to the Quill, in most cases, is a drilling depth stop. This model features a stop nut which can be adjusted to set the depth according to the scale on the machine. Also on this side of the machine is a tensioning return spring, which adjusts the return tension of the Quill assembly. Beside that is a lash screw. This can be adjusted to ensure that the Quill moves up and down and doesn't move slightly while drilling. Small adjustments go a long way with both the return tension spring and the lash screw. On the front of the machine is the on-off switch with removable safety key. And on this model, we also have a switch for the light, which is inset into the headstock. Not all floor model drill presses feature a built-in light, or, like in the case of this model, a laser guide. On the right side of the headstock is the feed handles, and beside that, the belt tension lever. The belt tension lever allows for easy belt orientation changes, which happens up here. Inside the cover are stepped pulleys, each designed to gear the spindle in a slightly different speed, which can be found on the reference plate inside the pulley housing. The final major component on our list is the motor. The primary reason for considering a floor model drill press is typically you need more power and drilling capacity, and a floor model drill press like this offers larger motor sizes from 3/4 horse to 1.5 horsepower range, though you can also find half horsepower models as well. Speaking of half horsepower models, this G7946 offers a unique feature with the radial headstock, meaning that it can telescope outward, providing much more swing for drilling larger workpieces. The swing on this particular model is 34 inches, so the headstock and the table both can be positioned up to 17 inches from the column. The radial style model also features an additional angle adjustment with the headstock, which can be tilted 45 degrees right and 90 degrees left from the point above the column. We hope this drill press overview has been helpful, and please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.